Hey everyone, and welcome back to Is That Brandon's TikTok account. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing a review to episode 20 of I'm a Celebrity 2025, but we will just finish with the last part of episode 19, which was Martin's goodbye interview. So yeah, in terms of the instrument, he said that the ukulele was a bit of a stitch up, and it was like sending him a trombone, which was an instrument he wasn't able to play. He said it was a positive experience, and when he has grown up, he's grown up thinking that the glass is half full. And he said, it's all about giving nice energy. He was questioned by Anton Deck as to whether he felt like he was the camp dad, and he said he felt like he was, he supposes, and he kind of has that a little bit on the outside. Obviously, life experience is one of those things that he was able to bring to camp as well. He said that his son Roman came third, and he said he's glad that he didn't beat him because obviously Roman's his son. And he said that he thinks the winner's going to be Shona because she came out of her shell and she was very shy when she first came in. He explained he's learned a lot about himself. He's patient, he's emotional, and he did feel like crying quite a lot of the time. And we also found out that in episode 20, we were going to be losing 2 of our campmates in a double elimination. So your final 6 were H, Jack, Ginge, Shona, Lisa, and Tom. At the beginning of the episode, Martin explained that they felt like there was nobody left in camp and it was deserted. And at one point, it was a theatre show, and now it's just quiet. Jack got those 12 eggs that they'd won from the previous challenge for camp. And H questioned how old someone was when they realised that they could do so much with an egg, with Tom explaining that they were velvety, smooth, and golden. So very interesting vocabulary to describe an egg, but, nonetheless, that's Tom's vocabulary for you. Ginge said that Martin was very chilled and oozes elegance. And Shona said that she felt a little bit funny, and he kind of reminded her of her dad. So I think this is when we found out that Martin had obviously left the jungle. Tom said, I can't pretend I'm not heartbroken. He was wonderful, and he's obviously so strong. H and Ginge decided to do rock, paper, scissors to see who was going to take part in the worst day cake trial. H won, so that meant Ginge was doing the trial. And Shona said it's probably a surprise cake that you're going to end up coming out of and then being involved in some sort of weird challenge. So to celebrate 25 years of I'm a Celebrity, and obviously this being the 25th season, Ginge was taking part in the kind of like celebration game, and he said he's still quite sad over the whole Ruby leaving situation. And yeah, Tom wished him enormous luck, obviously, before he left the jungle. What Ginge had to do was he had to kind of climb through a cake in 6 different sections, grab the star with whatever was crawling and creeping around him, put it in his little party bag, and however many coins he had in his party bag, he obviously won. So it was a very interesting challenge because in the different sections there was different animals. So in the first part there was mud crabs, then there was toads, monitor lizards. In number 3 there were spiders, with him basically repeating it's all a mindset, it's all a mindset, it's all a mindset. In the 4th one was body parts, so intestines and things like that, questioning, things were actually hanging off of things. In number 5 was rats, and in number 6 was the green ants. So I think the green ants was probably the worst. I think for him the worst was probably the spiders because he doesn't like spiders. But he managed to get all 6 out of 6 stars, and for every couple of stars that he actually got, they decided to do like a party popper explosion thing, and he basically just got scared every time, which was quite funny. But yeah, I guess for him it was quite annoying because you're very stressed, you're nervous, and you're in a really confined space, and then you hear a really loud poof. So yeah, it was probably quite funny for him to keep hearing that. And then yeah, Ginge explained that it was obviously iconic for him. He's glad he was able to do the challenge. Tom and Shona did some ballroom dancing with a bit of step hop, and Lisa said at least he came back with a full house. We haven't had a full house for a while. So in this episode, this was also the episode where we got to see and meet some of the other campmates' family. So the first 4 that we got to see were Tom's mum, Juliet. And Tom was obviously wondering a little bit why he was on his own, going off doing a mission. Just, he didn't really expect to see his mum. His mum, Juliet, said that everyone absolutely adores him. They're really relaxed. She's the proudest mother, and he's definitely surprised himself. And obviously he said that he felt magical, positive vibes. So it was really, really nice for him to see his mum and, to see where he gets his, good looks from as well. Up next was Lisa's husband, Al. So Al initially said that she looked great. He was very excited and proud of her, and Lisa said that she was told to just be herself, and that's just what she's been doing. He said, conquer all your fears, and she basically said she wanted to do him proud, and she said she's got the strength that she's needed from, you know, people like him and the rest of her family and probably her children, things like that. Or her Coronation, her Emmerdale children, or Coronation Street, or EastEnders, or I don't know, whatever it is she's in. H saw his sisters Hattie and Gracie. So H was just questioning why the two of them were there, and it's actually the maddest thing. Hattie said that she was very proud of him, and Mum had told them to tell him to just keep being himself. Gracie said that if he was to get voted out next, he had to take her to Greg's, and he was like, okay, cool, that's fine. So obviously Gracie is his sister with Down syndrome, so he, you know, promotes a lot about the stereotypes and trying to get people to stop the whole bullying situation, and for people to just understand that doesn't matter what you have, you can still be an amazing person, you can still be successful, you can still get through life, you just do that a little bit differently. So he's obviously raised awareness about that. I think he's written a song with Ed Sheeran about her as well, so it's just nice to see someone young, someone British using their platform to talk about things that are actually relevant, and he's a young guy himself as well. So I think that's what he said in many of his chats. He just said, you know, I want to change people's minds and perceptions on things. I just want people to understand that there are people out there with differences, basically. So, yeah, it was lovely to see that. I think that was probably the most emotional one out of the three so far. For Ginge, it was his mum, Michelle, and his sister called Tasha. So Tasha said that she was so proud of him. Michelle, his mum, said that he's been really, really funny to watch. He said there's been no scores from, you know, the football games, so he doesn't know who's won what, and questioned why his mum and sister decided to give him a scarf in the hot weather. Up next was Shona's sister, so her name was Camila, and Shona said that she smelled really, really nice, with Camila saying that she smelled like a foot. Shona explained that she said to her sister she didn't realise how much she needed her sister today, and yeah, her sister Camilla said, you know, you found your people, and that's all that matters. She said, Mum's fine, Mum's great, everyone's watching you at home, and you need to get H round for kitchen karaoke. So, you know, an EastEnders queen and a rapping king, you know, that's going to make interesting karaoke outside of the jungle, and also probably a little bit of flirting between them. I wouldn't be surprised if you see them probably dating anytime soon. We also then saw Jack's wife and kid. So his wife called Ari and his child called Maple. He said he's missed them very much, questioned what had been going on. So his wife Ari said it's the longest they've gone without speaking, and she's glad he's doing okay. Maple said that she fed a kangaroo, and then they all had a family group hug. H said that his head was gone. Shona said that seeing her sister was the best day ever. H asked Jack whether he got a shimmy, and he said yeah, it was the best surprise. Ginge said it's a reminder of why they're in the jungle, and Lisa said it's a motivation to help them carry on. The camp was then rearranged for their 6-star meal, and Lisa explained that, you know, it was kind of talking her love language, which is obviously all about DIY. And for dinner, they had crocodile tail, a chili, and some vegetables. With Lisa questioning why she was watching, and Shona was cutting meat off of the bone. Jack said everyone seemed to have had a ton of energy, and everyone at home seems to obviously be good. Lisa did a cheers to the food and their loved ones at home. And Tom said, you know, it's a nice little celebration ahead of actual Christmas. Shona said it was almost like eating Christmas crocodile, and Lisa said that she held her husband's face, and that's the strength that he's given her to carry on. We then found out that the two eliminated campmates were Jack and Lisa. So it was Jack out first, he was at 6th place, and then Lisa in 5th. Jack survived 21 days in the jungle as Mr. Indiana Jones around the campfire. He explained it was good to be out, and he was actually quite tired of camp life. Ginge had said that he held down the ship from day one, and Jack explained that it was a very healing experience. He said he's so fun. He's had so much fun and not sure what clips get used and what clips don't, explaining that he's enjoyed connecting with people and he doesn't necessarily have a lot of friends in England. H called him Captain Jack, saying that he was the real leader, and he said he was worried if stuff was actually going to get cooked properly, and that nobody put their hand up on day one to be the cook, so he kind of just naturally took himself forward. So that's the first kind of part of episode 20. I'll be back with part 2 of 20 and my review for episode 21, and we see out of the 4 who becomes your final.